Yo, what's going on, bro? It's Kevin Prize back here again, and I got this controversial topic to talk to you about. And it really shouldn't be controversial, but for some reason, other coaches who will not be named tend to say that this shit's irrelevant when it's not. This shit's incredibly important. But for some reason, they like to make shit harder for themselves. I don't know. I'm more of a guy who thinks things should be easy. I'm a little lazy, so if it's easier, it's better. This makes shit easier. Why not do it? Right? Right. So, body language. Body language is just so important, and the quickest example I can give to you about how important body language is would be if you were sitting in a club and you had a homeless man just stroll past you and he's like, hey man. He's like, hey man. And you're like, what the fuck? He's like, how you been? You're like, I don't know you. Get the fuck out. You would call security on him. But, because he looks homeless, he looks weird, he's just limping around like this, like homeless and around in his homeless self. And you just see that and you don't want any part of it because his sub-communications and his body language and the way he's dressed is weird. But if some guy, let's say Kevin Prize or Leonardo DiCaprio or anybody else came up, and even if you didn't know who Leonardo DiCaprio was, their body language is nice, they are dressed nice, they come out with their shoulders back, with them looking confident, head up, a little smirk, they're like, hey man, and this person, you are going to give them the time of day, you're going to listen out to them, and that's how girls are. They see you as higher up. When you have shit body language, everything that you say comes from this lower level down here, and they have this whole hierarchy of people that they don't listen to unless they're at least this height. So why would you make it more difficult for you to have to verbally weasel your way up to get to here for her to finally listen to you and be like, all right, I like this guy. I'll listen to what he has to say. Versus if you have good sub-communication and you can just start higher up, even higher than she initially had a requirement. You start up here, then everything you say comes from such a higher level and it hits with so much more impact, and you just fucking nailed this verbal shit and everything makes such a dent and her consciousness, and she's very aware of who you are, and it's like this person of so much higher status is coming over and talking to someone lower, and we all know that this is just made up. None of this shit is real, but it's real in her mind. So why would you not come in at a higher status, a higher level? A quick story I have is just multiple times, it's not even really a story, multiple times when I was first starting out, I would go to the club with just one friend, one other dude. And our body language, this is something I've always been good with. Our body language was always just on point. We would always have fantastic body language. And I've had countless girls walk over to me and say, hey, you look cool, what's your name? And what else did they have to go off of than our body language, our sub-communications? Because they saw us up here versus if we were just sitting there like this or like all like hunched in and scared, they would not approach us because we look ridiculous. We look scary. We look awkward to talk to. We don't look like we're having a good time. People who are having a good time and having fun and are confident and their lives are amazing, their body language is like this. It is out. And that is honestly the quickest way and the very first tip I can tell you to getting great body language is putting yourself in a good mood, because there's a knowledge, excuse me, I don't know if you have the knowledge, but the knowledge of the fact that your body language reflects your emotions and your emotions reflect your body language. So when you're in a bad mood, before you actually get into like the bad mood part, your body language is starting to slump in and you're going to start being more closed in. Versus if you're in a good mood, your body language is going to be much more open, much more vibrant, and you're going to take up more space. People who think highly of themselves think that they have good energy, so they want to put their energy out in the world. And you do have good energy. You have fantastic fucking energy. So put that shit out to the world. So not everybody can just naturally get their state up that much so fastly. It takes time to adjust and to get there. I'll make a video about how you can do this later. But right now, today, how can you artificially get your body language and your subcommunications down? The first is, like I said, taking up more space. Get your energy out there. That is very important. You want to take up more space because you are the most valuable person in the room and you should have more space. The second, speak with your hands. I don't know if you've noticed, but I speak with my hands. Celebrities speak with their hands. The best speakers speak with their hands. Athletes speak with their hands. This is very, very important and it's just a trait that all 1%ers of the world possess. And by the way, as a side note, just thought of this. Social proof and body language are almost the same thing, because when your body language is amazing, it's a clear sign that your life is amazing. So you must have a good life, which is social proof. Just like if you had 10 girls walk in with you, you'd probably be walking in just chilling, all relaxed, not giving a fuck. And if you're doing that anyways, then there's a good chance that you probably do have 10 girls with you, but you just kind of wanted a night with the boys tonight and you told them that they couldn't come. So that's a side added thought benefiting from body language. So 1, work on your state. 2, have good hand communications. And the third is move slower. This is pretty important because right now, I bet your body language is way too fast. And you might see me moving fast, but that's just because these are videos and I get a little passionate about talking about this kind of shit. But when I'm not like on my path and making this dream happen and sharing value and getting so emotional about just my favorite type of shit to talk about, my body language is much slower. You know, I'm more along this speed, and just when somebody calls me, this is probably the best one I can share with you right now. If somebody was like, Kevin, and I was looking and paying attention to something over here, maybe talking to somebody, I would slowly move my head after I finished what I was doing and keep my eyes in that direction, and then lock eyes with this person. A person with good body language is hard to be distracted from what they're focusing on. So move slower, have good hand communications, because there is a part of your brain that is devoted to interpreting hand signs. It is a sign of an amazing expert communicator. And the third tip was put yourself in a better mood, put yourself in a better state, and this will come more naturally. Take up more space. Alright, man, this shit works. It's gonna get girls to be all over you before you even say anything. You will come from such a higher level that you honestly don't even have to game that much, because you are going to be seen as so high up. And I want that for you because I've had it and it feels amazing. And I'd like you to enjoy the same thing. Alright, man? Peace out, you stud.